Happy Friday, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to pre-market update. Nasdaq does third standard deviation. You can see first green line, second green line, third standard deviation. Whenever a price touches third standard deviation, that's like usually happens 5 to 10% of the time. Very, very rare occurrence. That's like really usually a very, very good buy. And we always pump from that time. And you can see from here where we are right now, when it does third standard deviation to now, we're already up around 0.43%, but I think we're going higher. We're going higher to go to this red line at minimum. And I would like to show you what happened before when I did a perfect sell. You can see here, Nasdaq on this date on Friday, October 24th, third standard deviation on the sell side. This is a perfect time to short whenever it's here. It's usually very 5 to 10% of the time, very, very rare. And you can see if you shorted there, and you can see again it went up, but it never reached third standard deviation. Okay, and then it went down now here where you would be looking to buy. And I told my subscribers, I gave these screenshot levels to my subscribers, and I told them I'm buying FNGU, SOXL, TQQQ, and now we are already in profit. You can see pre-market already up more than 2.5%, most of these. And I'm looking for pump. I'm looking for a continuation of the pump. Same thing happened on all the other indices. You can see S&P 500 is pumping from touching the buy zone. You can see Dow Jones touched the buy zone going higher. Russell 2000, same thing, touching the buy zone going higher. And even Bitcoin, I believe you can see Bitcoin also touched the buy zone. You can see now going higher. All right. So easy trades here. Let's show you also other chart which I was sharing with my subscribers. You can see here MES chart. This is 2 hours regression channel, and you can see what happened. We touched the bottom white zone. All right. We buy below bottom line white line and we sell above top white line. You can see this was a perfect sell. This was a perfect buy, came to the neutral line, came back to the buy zone, came back away again up, and touched multiple times. Here we touched white line 14th October, here we touched white line 17th October, and then we're going down. Now this is not where you're going to be shorting. This is the area to buy. I do think we could go higher, and at minimum from where we touched to the neutral line is around 2.17%, but I think we could go from here to end of year rally to 6,000. Now if we do need to rally from here to end of the year, that's 5% away. All right, a rally. So November is started now, so 2 months can definitely take us to 6,000. So let's see how it ends up. This is a perfect indicator, so I'm going to be keeping an eye on this, looking to take profits as we go higher. Also there are gaps. All right, there are gaps. Let me show you um, here on SPX daily chart. There are gaps here. Okay, you can see this gap down um, on 1 hour chart. It might be easier to see. You can see gap down yesterday. This gap 100% will be filled. All right, this was a no-brainer for me to buy, and a nice sell-off with a big gap up. We're going higher, even on Nasdaq. I think all other indices, even Dow Jones had a gap, and IWM might have not got a back gap, but you can see Nasdaq, this gap from where we closed yesterday to going higher is 2.46%. This is like an easy area to make money. 3 times 2.4%, more than 7.5% you can buy. And things like SOXL will go like maybe 20%. Fungo will go like 20% to fill these gaps. You can see SOXL, if you want to see the gap, this gap is here, okay, around 33.91 from where it closed yesterday to fill that gap. 13% higher. Fungu from where it closed yesterday to fill that gap is around, sorry, not here. I think it closed, yeah, it is closed here. To the top gap is around 10% away. Okay, you can see easy trades here with easy money to be made. Earnings, Amazon is pumping after earnings, already up 6.5%. Apple is a little weaker, but we will talk about these soon. So let's go back to our cycle analysis and let's review the market. So let's start with SPX here. You can see here SPX is going lower, and I was expecting this decline, and people on my channel, they knew, okay, they knew this decline is coming, and you would have saved a lot of money by knowing that we are in a declining phase. Now we're still in a declining phase, and so any rallies could still be sold into. So I think if even if we go here, fill this gap, we can still go lower. All right, so just keep that in mind. Uh, so I will be looking to take profits on the fill of this gap. Okay, no matter how long it takes to fill this gap. If we are going down, that's quite possible. We could go down and then go higher. So okay, so there is also possibility we just keep going down, fill this little bottom gap around 5,600, and then go fill the gap, or we go fill the gap and then go down and then go higher. All right. No matter where or however we go, I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna hold my positions until this gap is filled. Same thing on Nasdaq. I'm gonna hold my position until this gap is filled, and I know 100% this gap is gonna be filled. So I'm not gonna be bothered by any news, any events, any earnings. I'm just gonna hold it. All right. So okay. So also on Nasdaq, if I go to weekly chart, you can see we're touching green line. All right. Here on S&P 500 also touching green line. We're going to show you SPX chart, also touching green line. In a bull market, it's always good to buy on the tag of this green line. Better buy on a tag of white line, but who knows if you're gonna get to the white line or not. All right. So let's see. So right now we are tagging green line. Are we gonna tag white line? That will be better buy. If not, then this is it. We're going higher from here. Same thing on Nasdaq. We're touching green line. In a bull market, it's a good buy to buy on a tag of green line. You can see here tags here. Sometimes we come and touches white line, but then usually we touch green line and then we keep bouncing. All right. So just keep that in mind on weekly. If this is it, we could be going higher. Elections are coming in a week, I think. Yeah, November 5. So not even a week, just 3 or 4 days. So they could pump two elections and then dump later on. Who knows? Let's see how things shape up. All right, so that's on Nasdaq. Um, Dow Jones, A9 counts buy signal, looking for a bounce. Russell 2000 also broke down below 50 EMA SMA, now recovering already before the market starts. Bitcoin already broke out on a daily chart, broke out back testing. Let's see if it's going to go higher or this is it. And also on one of the other charts on Bitcoin, I should release a short video here, a linear regression chart on Bitcoin. You can see here came to the sell zone, sell zone, sell zone, and now going lower and came very close to the neutral zone. So it's bouncing already right now, right? So it could go, ideal buy would be below 64,500. Who knows if it's going to go there or not, but it's bouncing already before that. So just wanted to share that with you. And let's go back here to Ethereum. Ethereum also making higher highs, higher lows, but this is a lower high. So let's see if it can bounce. On Ethereum, there's a gap. Actually, this gap looks like already filled. So yesterday was a nice sell-off. This 1 hour gap on Ethereum, they filled it. You can see there was this gap, so that's good. See, all these gaps mostly do get filled. So let me delete this. So the now next gap is either below 2246 or higher 3000. All right. So I don't know which one is going to fill first. Bitcoin, there's a gap here around 67419. Just wanted to make sure you guys are aware of this. You can see this gap up, which happened on Sunday, 27th October, still not filled. All right, just keep that in mind. Okay, and the good news for Bitcoin, green line is above red line. As long as it happens, stays above that, this is good. Ethereum is not good because it's already crossed, so that's not a good sign. But as long as Bitcoin can hold, it's good. If not, then we're going lower, much lower than I gave you already levels where I think is going. Amazon after earnings, new all-time highs, looking good. Apple is a bit weaker, but that's you can see it's opening on this gap. This green line was a gap, so it's opening right there, so that's good. It can bounce from here. All right, I think it's going to fill this gap. It's already opening on a gap fill, and then it's going to start going higher. And what else is there? Crude oil in the resistance. I told you this gap is here, this yellow line. They're still going to fill this gap in front of resistance. Natural gas on EMA supports here. Gold not interested in this new all-time highs, just gonna wait for it to recover. Silver same thing. Copper also flagging. Palladium new highs, new higher highs, high lows, still can bounce. Sugar flagging, finally trying to break out of this trend line, or this is a flag. uh, you can do like a flag here, right? Trying to break out of this flag finally, so let's see if it can break out. Wheat holding nice. I want it to close about 270. Corn, it's also looking good, bouncing from here. Dollar is in front of resistance, nice resistance box. A decline here will help gold and Bitcoin to go higher, and that's what we are thinking it will happen. Microsoft went down and almost filled this gap, and let's see if it can come back to fill this gap fully or not. I think it's not fully filled yet. Let me double check I'll check later on. massive gap. This will be filled, right? So at some point, Meta also weak yesterday after earnings, but there's a gap here. They can fill. Google was higher, still um, earnings done, and that gap is almost filled. Could fill this gap today and then bounce. Netflix holding strong yesterday, flagging, very good. And uh, CrowdStrike was also weak. Let's see if it can bounce. NVDA was also weak, and there's still a couple of gaps on the top around 140. So let's see if it can bounce and reach those. And Tesla also, you can see back testing this trend line and bouncing. This earning gap will be filled at some point. I just don't know when, because there are two gaps. There's a gap here, there's a gap here. 290, there's a gap at 214, so it's in the middle. It's going to touch one of these gaps. I don't know which one. AMD, very weak the last couple of days. It could come all the way down to 134 to fill this gap. But also there's earning gaps here around 166. So let's see. I think it's going to go fill this gap and then go higher, but it could do the other way as well. So we keep that in mind. VIX is crushing. So VIX was above 20. Whenever it's above 20, it's good time to buy. Last time we got VIX here, 8 count sell signal. Last time we got 8 count sell signal, it crashed. Are we going to crash multiple gaps to fill? So let's see if it can go down to fill these gaps. If it's going to go down, then SPX is going higher to fill this gap and then come back down later. We'll see how it goes. Okay, guys, that's it for today. Hopefully this is helpful. I'll talk to you later. Bye.